now we're going to hear from Ron Price, KB's friend and wonderful poet. I heard the two of them together at the Satin Poetry Series and heard Ron Price a second time there. Now Ron Price is here's his bio: mailroom gopher, line worker, forklift driver, parking lot attendant. Currently a teaching artist at Juilliard, published in, among others, the American Poetry Review, the Leviathan Quarterly in the UK, past USIA visiting poet to Belgium, read in 2003 throughout India for the Bureau of Cultural and Educational Affairs in a program titled Artists Respond to Terror. Read twice in Jerusalem at the invitation of the American Center, author most recently of A True Account of the Failure of Bodies to Adequately Burn. He has copies of this book, and you can see him about that after, and also KB has some information about his books. I'm very honored that Ron Price is joining us for this poetry reading. Let's hear it for Ron. Look forward to hearing the reading.
I'm probably going to do three poems, one really short, one long for me, and one in between. The first one, I lived in Philadelphia during the good administration, during the Reagan administration. And this is about the decision that the city fathers made to drop a C4 cartridge on the MOVE compound. That's what they called it, the MOVE compound. They thought of it as their home. Brotherhood. After saying no to a friend in Memphis, I speak long hours with a stranger about Philadelphia. The MOVE home, a few blocks from my apartment. I was out of town when the city fathers, the helicopters, the C4, DNA in black smoke, sirens in the air, and cold jokes by shit for wit, soon-to-be traders from Wharton. How many MOVE members will fit into a Volkswagen Bug? 11. 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 7 in the ashtray. It's cold. This is called Garden of the Wretched. For he knows how much of what he is lived before him in a dream where he carried the necessary mirror. When he was a liar whose heart double-crossed him without arrows. A lover separated from his beloved, miles from the nearest pond. For in the dream where what will be is already known, a cuffed sleeve in the air, a kind of human wing, the ceremonial nerves glide through. The heart can name what the tongue might never call up. That voice separate and speaking through what we are, which now he's forgot. For inside him is a nation of people turned away from the soldiers who killed for them, and the soldiers who killed for them. For this is the poverty of a faithless heart. For nothing of this has to do with the beginning, the middle, and end. It's only a little air, a song sung by a solitary man walking through a landscaped garden past a bush shaped like a rooster's head. I have never done this poem out loud before, in front of in a reading. There's a name that comes up in here, Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao is the Chinese name of my daughter, and what it means is that flute of sunlight that you can see before the sun has risen to the horizon. So at least whoever named her Xiao Xiao had great hopes for her. This is called What Couldn't. I wanted to know what it is for two or three to gather our names and cast them into the wind that scatters where it will. It meant becoming indistinguishable from the subterraneans, lost between the mime and his yellow dress and gloves, yellow parasol, yellow flesh and hair, and the black drummer beating white industrial paint barrels, driving a rhythm through tunnels deeper than the word mimed. Past the muscular, swivel-hipped Colombian dancer with a short, stuffed, life-size body of a woman attached to his ankles and wrists. Behind the harmonica player from Beijing, a boom box at his feet, accompanying a Mozart concerto, a symphony by Beethoven. I did not want to become anonymous water washing out through the bay into the sea. So I stood on the bank, tracing the river for the sake of your absence, for thee, for moonlight marbling the water, watching the river until it stopped and I started flowing backwards into a place called what you once were is what you are still. I felt a small, hurt thing shedding its calendar of abuse, the petty cruelties, the battering, all the lies. I kept on, Xiao, child struggling to live with or without love, that you might grasp something of our lives as your days began. Ash Wednesday, and Abdul-Wahhab's opium trade is having trouble with the Taliban. Pinochet and the Chilean black hats wavering despite the Viennese Val, despite Milosevic and the rising waters of Mozambique, the infected eye of a child, one child the floods did not reach, and Supperwitz kidnapped and Ronald Taylor binged through McDonald's, Russian vigilantes breaking the legs of heroin dealers and addicts, Gronzi and Rubble and General Blaskik preparing his appeal, despite Diallo, despite Luema, and burning crosses, against Runt and burning crosses, pinwheels spinning for the dead baby's life after the flood, and Lebanese mothers burning candles against the dark, against Ranji's official opinion. Corruption is to be condemned. And Zoo's agreement, the idol shall sit watching Elion stretched thin between the mother of beauty and the mother of loss. Between Volpe and Schwartz, Toshiki, the sad, scrutinizing eyes of Darwish. Tiananmen Square quiet and Taiwan trembling in that quiet. Because immigrants are freezing to death in the mountains east of San Diego, and the paralegal with a .38 semi-automatic on a subway is robbing people who can't afford the lawyers he works for. It is true, Nathan, 12-year-old Nathan, dove for a ball in his bedroom and landed on a pencil that pierced his heart. I kind of felt it go in, he said, and lived. It's true, hustlers are selling used cars, offering breast cancer, running for public office, while the Santo family dead waits to become ash on the foreheads of a young girl and her brother who discovered them, because the night is a song lit by Jocan and Zakena who went up in the flames of their breathing. Because the foot race for democracy is limping into the new century with the old oligarchs. Because a surgeon is carving his initials into a woman's uterus, despite the interracial dating ban ending for those who have a note from their parents. We got lost. A familiar story, like the wind that tears things, the gods who love to watch us scratch. We became secrets kept from each other because whatever we thought we were doing kept breaking down. Each failure a taste made of absence in espresso. It made us tired. If only you could declare yourself, though soon you'll be grown my life over and you thinking about lovers, children, one spent wave washing over another, the living waves continuing though the living die. Fly away, bird with no name, I had to keep you. Xiao, when I consider your anonymous crib, and you, without words to hold you. It's all right, there, it's all right. Not even love can protect us, though something kept you. How frail our breath, tending toward the failure all things fall prey to, though something kept you, though I stray to what keeps us.
Beautiful poems, powerful.